Welcome back to the Millennial Talk Show Season 3. Now we're going to be talking about dating now versus then, like 10 years ago. Is this still the same thing? Are things wrong? Are things better? We're going to find out in this episode. So, Mufe, do you think it is harder dating now than 10 years ago? Were you dating 10 years ago? First of all, let us ask. Wait first, before we even continue this conversation. How many of you had boyfriends or girlfriends 10 years ago? That was 2012.
Yeah, I had a girlfriend in 2012.
I did have, did I? I did not. I was a good girl. I was a good girl. I did not start dating until
I was in 100 level. Yeah, 10 years ago. So
Okay.
I had a girlfriend at that point. It was long distance. Yes.
Okay, so are you dating now?
No. I'm
Okay.
single at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah,
So let us just compare. Do you think, okay, getting into a relationship was easier then than now? Do you think toasting a babe now is harder?
Yes.
Eh.
I believe it's a lot harder now. I think the first thing that comes to mind as a guy, as an African male adult, like first things first, based on the background, the community,
Yeah.
you know you have to be a provider. First, straight up, you have to be a provider. The guy, unlike a Western society, developed society where, okay, everyone is working, everyone is, you have purchasing power. Here, you have to be a provider. So that's the first thing. If you're meeting ladies, you have to be able to show that you can, you have the ability to protect her financially, emotionally, all
Financial
round.
security.
Yeah, she's looking for so many forms of security from you.
Interesting.
So if you don't have your thing together, your career or your business or your life together, I personally don't advise.
Okay,
I
so
don't advise,
summary,
honestly.
it is
So
harder dating now
Yeah,
than
back
10
then
years ago.
we're in school, so
Yeah.
we didn't have too much expectations.
Right, expectations. We're going to get to that, but yeah.
I've been thinking
What
hard
you
about.
said? You rich, you say.
So 10 years ago, I would imagine you are speaking of people maybe at my age 10 years ago.
Yeah.
If I'm to answer that question in that sense, I would say it's easier now, or there are benefits now in the sense
Okay.
that the use of social media is now like rampant, and a lot of people have easy access to social media. So you can easily go and talk to your background research, find out if the man that is toasting you is a married man.
Actually.
See if,
Actually.
find out. You can
Yeah.
do some digging, get to know more about the person you're interested in, even before you even go and approach the person itself. So in that sense, that's one. But if it's about like me 10 years ago and me now, it's way easier now. I didn't have money that time. I don't think I was not looking very presentable.
So now your life has changed.
So yeah, things are better now. So if it's that, it's
Okay.
easier now.
Nice. Nice. I like it.
Okay.
Hello.
Well, as regards to the scope,
Say scope.
the scope itself, as regards to the scope of
Yeah.
then and now, I think it's easier now because you've gotten to that, you're almost close to your climax, to the
Interesting.
peak. You figured out yourself basically. I mean, out of the whole thing, you understand yourself. You understand what makes you special. So when you meet a lady, you know what you're actually selling to her. But the difference between then and now is expectation. Let me just be sincere. Expectations, I mean, from both genders, it's huge. So I think then it was less expectation as to now. Now there's a lot of expectation. Even if both of you are working class, it's expectation from the male side to the female side. So I just want to say that basically it's expectation. That's the difference between then and now.
I think I'll support him, yes, expectations, because there are a lot of things.
Expectations.
This thing called relationship is confusing sometimes, but expectations, because I don't even know, commitment, consistency, communication. You're even trying to gather your own life, then there's somebody
Another person
else.
is there.
Another person is there. consistency. You're juggling work, family.
Yeah.
Then there's one person in the corner. A lot expectations. You're expected to always be there. Am I even there for myself? Yes. All of that is a lot. Then when you're now dealing with somebody that is entirely different from how it is when you were growing up. You know, sometimes you just look like, I want to marry somebody like my daddy. I want to have somebody like my brother. Then somebody that is not even like any of them, and you have to a new breed entirely, and you have to get used to like, okay, this is what I'm into. So the expectations are there, and it's a lot.
Nice. I absolutely agree. Expectations ruin. Well, I would say unrealistic. I always say that unrealistic expectations ruin things, and that's a big problem. All right. So quickly, let's talk about dating mistakes we currently make now.
Well, basically for me, I think the fact that I actually expected the person to understand my emotions and relate with how I'm feeling without communicating properly was a big mistake. Yeah, I do. I never knew how to communicate. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. But with time, I then learned. You know, you have to literally unlearn some things to actually learn. So I think that's one.
Dating
mistakes.
Yeah, you have plenty.
Oh my God. First of all, social media. Don't ever. Comparison is bad.
Yeah.
You should never compare who you're dating with who your friend is dating. They're two different human beings, so comparison is a turn off. Don't ever make that mistake. Comparing. And don't say that, okay, because you're coming from a relationship where your partner would always do calls, this new person must always, there's something they call compromise. You guys have to compromise for one another. Like, he does this for you so that you guys can get to like a destination. You can get to a point of agreement, so you make compromisation so that you guys can work together. Don't enforce it, but come to an agreement. That's for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say two things. In line with what Aramide has said, comparison. So don't compare one with your past relationships and with general comparison, as she has said.
Nobody likes it.
Yeah. Secondly, don't rush in. So both guys and girls tend to make the mistake where they express like, you just met somebody like 1 week, you want to marry her. You know. Yeah, so don't rush in. Take your time, get to know the individual.
Good. Mufe?
Well, I'm not exactly going to speak on mistakes. I think they have touched on it. I'll just say 4 things: compassion, communication, compromise, and consistency.
Forces.
So that's what I just defined for myself. Compassion.
Professor Mufe.
Be compassionate to your partner. It
Yeah.
goes both sides. Communication. Speak. You don't just assume that they're going to understand your non-verbal, especially your non-verbal communication. And consistency. Always the energy you start with, just maintain it. Don't compromise. Sometimes you might not like certain things like this, and your partner might like it like that. But you guys can meet each other halfway.
Yeah.
Make something around it.
I agree.
That's
Valid
it.
points. I love it so much. Alright guys, so what are your own opinions about dating now versus then? Please leave your comments in the comment section. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe. We'll be right back.